We've all been there, right? Staring at that inbox just full of internal memos, and somehow you feel more confused than you did before you opened them.
Oh, yeah. Or being in that mandatory meeting for alignment.
Ugh, yes. 3 hours later, and you're wondering what exactly got aligned.
Exactly. It feels like just busy work, lots of communication, but is it, strategic? Is it actually clear?
That's the problem we're tackling today, this feeling of being busy, but maybe not truly effective.
Right. So we're doing a deep dive, looking at some great insights from HR Cloud, analyzing how the best companies turn internal comms from just noise into an actual engine for results.
Okay, so not just talking for talking's sake.
Not at all. We're looking for the 10 sort of essential strategies that make communication purposeful, something that achieves real results, moving it from a chore to maybe a competitive advantage.
Okay, let's unpack that then. If communication is strategic, it has to drive behavior, right?
Precisely.
So our mission today is to distill these 10 core strategies. We want to show you, step by step, how you can build a system that genuinely engages everyone. Doesn't matter if they're in the office, remote, hybrid.
Everyone.
We're looking for those surprising nuggets, the things that really make the system work. Okay, let's kick things off with the anchor. Strategy number 4. Understanding, and maybe more importantly, communicating leadership's vision. It sounds obvious, but why do so many companies seem to, stumble here? They put the mission statement up on the wall, maybe.
Yeah, but it doesn't translate, does it?
Uh-huh.
Posting it is just tactical. Communicating it effectively, that's strategic.
So what does effectively mean here?
It means leadership needs to go beyond just, say, generic financial goals. Like instead of just increase Q3 revenue by 10%, explain how.
Okay.
Maybe it's by solving this specific customer challenge, we build the trust needed to hit that Q3 target, something concrete.
So connecting the dots for people.
Exactly. When employees get that fundamental why, they can see how their tasks, maybe logging data, optimizing a route, writing code, whatever it is, how that directly contributes, even the tedious stuff.
And crucially, the source material mentions this can't just be a broadcast, right? Not a monologue from the top.
No, definitely not. If leadership just pushes the vision out without any way for people to respond, employees just feel like cogs in the machine.
Right.
So effective communication has to include, a clear, easy way for people to ask questions.
Makes sense.
People need to be able to challenge assumptions, raise concerns, give feedback on how it actually impacts them. That back and forth. That's what turns a vision statement into real investment from everyone.
That idea of two-way investment flows really nicely into the next one. Strategy 2, connect the people. We hear it constantly. Lack of transparent communication is maybe the biggest source of employee frustration.
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking about clarity on what's expected, how things work, changes coming down the pike.
And that frustration, it comes from those communication gaps that just slow everything down or block success entirely.
So what's the fix?
Well, you need processes that actively encourage collaboration across departments, between teams. The source mentions the traditional open-door policy.
Yeah.
But I want to push back on that a bit, especially now. Like, does a manager in California having an open door really help a developer working remotely in London?
Probably not. Feels a bit like a holdover from when everyone was physically there.
Exactly. It's a legacy idea. We need modern systemic solutions, things that replace that quick chat in the hallway.
Like what?
Think about creating dedicated forums, maybe centralized digital hubs, kind of digital water coolers, places where teams can share work in progress, ideas, suggestions, no matter where they are.
Okay, making it structured and visible.
Right. That kind of structured digital transparency is what closes those gaps. It promotes real participation and builds that feedback loop so the guidelines are actually being understood and used out there.
Let's shift gears a bit to the logistics. Managing the sheer flow of information, especially now with remote work, global teams.
Yes, it can.
Which brings us neatly to strategy 1. Make the communication accessible. This seems critical. If only some people can get the update, you instantly create insiders and outsiders.
Totally. Accessibility is just non-negotiable. We're talking devices, sure, but maybe even more fundamentally, across time zones.
Right.
Nothing makes a remote employee feel more out of the loop than finding out crucial info was shared on a Zoom call they couldn't possibly attend at 3 a.m. their time.
So the source talks about asynchronous communication. For listeners maybe not deep in the HR tech world, what does that actually look like on a Monday morning?
It means basically breaking the dependency on everyone being in the same place at the same time for every single communication.
Okay. Fewer mandatory real-time meetings.
Exactly. Use tools that let people consume info and contribute when it works for them. Things like detailed project updates people can read anytime, maybe pre-recorded video messages from leaders, um, dedicated internal comms apps where conversations unfold over hours, not just minutes.
So it accommodates different schedules, different locations.
Precisely. Ensures consistency, regardless of where or when someone works.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting for long-term efficiency, I think. Strategy 3, share knowledge.
Ah, yes. Institutional knowledge.
Right, not just daily updates, but building that collective brain power.
Absolutely. Think about the old physical water cooler. It was kind of a messy, decentralized way knowledge got transferred.
Yeah, you overheard things, asked quick questions.
Exactly. Now, we have to be deliberate about centralizing that knowledge. The source actually warns that putting knowledge sharing on the back burner can lead to, well, disastrous consequences.
Like what?
Key person dependency. If only one or two people understand a critical process, what happens if they leave? Or just get overloaded?
Big problems, huge risk.
Massive, costly gap for the organization.
So the solution proposed is an internal wiki. Seems simple.
It is simple, but elegant.
Okay.
An internal wiki is a living document, right? Not some stale PDF buried somewhere. It encourages collaboration because, ideally, everyone can contribute their bit of expertise.
Turning that tribal knowledge into a real asset.
That's the goal. The challenge, though, is getting people to do it.
Yeah, why should a busy employee take time out to document their process?
Good question. Leadership needs to step up. They need to recognize and maybe even reward knowledge contribution. Make it clear that sharing knowledge is just as vital as, doing the task itself.
That effort ties directly into Strategy 8. Centralize your internal documents. This feels like the organizational equivalent of cleaning out the messy drawer everyone throws things into.
That's a good way to put it. It's pure chaos management otherwise. Procedure guides are over here on SharePoint, old policies on someone's local drive. The latest WFH policy is maybe locked in a Google Doc somewhere.
Nightmare. Nobody knows what's current.
Exactly. Inconsistency, miscommunication, it's guaranteed because nobody trusts where the real up-to-date version actually lives.
So we need that single source of truth.
Precisely. And that requires a good, flexible, central content management solution. Think about it. If an employee wastes 20 minutes just hunting for the new expense report template.
That's lost productivity. Plus, they might grab the wrong one.
Right. High potential for error. Centralization isn't about top-down control. It's about speed, consistency, confidence, letting people quickly find exactly what they need. Policies, guides, process changes, all in one reliable place.
Okay, one more in this info flow section. Strategy 9, share industry news. Why? Why should, say, an accountant care about what competitors are doing or new market trends? They're focused internally, right?
You'd think so, but a company doesn't operate in a vacuum.
True.
Sharing industry news connects those internal decisions to the external world. If a competitor launches a killer new feature, well, that impacts R&D budgets. It shifts marketing strategy. It probably dictates resource allocation in finance, too.
Ah, okay. It provides context.
Exactly. Context for why certain decisions are being made internally. Even roles that aren't customer-facing benefit from understanding the market forces. It helps build a stronger communication culture, one that bridges what's happening inside with what's going on outside.
All right, let's shift focus now from kind of the systems and documents to the people, the human element, how we actually drive culture.
Yeah, the soft stuff, that's actually really hard.
Let's start with strategy 5. Share good news and bad news.
Celebrating wins is crucial, but it needs to be specific.
Not just great quarter, team.
Right. Highlight which team crushed their goal. Share that specific glowing customer review. Recognize the person who got some industry award or certification.
Connecting the work to the positive result.
Exactly. That transparency in celebrating wins makes people feel like their work is seen, it's valued, and it connects their daily effort to the ultimate outcome.
And the other side of the coin, sharing bad news, that's often harder.
Much harder.
Yeah.
But it demands courage, and that courage pays off hugely in trust.
Better than letting rumors fly.
Way better. Transparency when things are tough is better than leaving a vacuum where speculation takes over. If there's a restructure coming or maybe a projected slowdown, it needs to be communicated.
Yeah.
Thoughtfully.
The thought matters.
Hugely. The thought, the candor, how it's delivered, that significantly impacts how people receive difficult news. It's absolutely critical for managing change effectively. Basically, avoid corporate jargon and spin. Talk to people like adults.
That makes sense. Following on from celebrating wins, we get to strategy 6, Recognize employees and teams. How do we make recognition feel, well, meaningful, not just a generic email blast?
Yeah, good point. It has to be specific, it should be visible, and probably pretty frequent.
Okay.
And it needs to go beyond just the manager recognizing their direct reports. We need to empower peer-to-peer recognition too.
So colleagues shouting each other out.
Exactly. Imagine like a dedicated platform or channel where the whole company can see a detailed shout out. Maybe for a customer service person who went above and beyond, or a team that finished a project early.
Spotlighting promotions too, top performers.
Absolutely. Promotions, certifications, top sales reps, project milestones. When you systematize recognition like that, you give everyone the chance to congratulate each other, and it reinforces those positive behaviors across the entire company.
That culture of trust and recognition seems underpinned by Strategy 7. Check in on employees.
Yeah.
Beyond the formal annual review, how often should we just be asking, hey, how are you really doing?
Regularly. Yeah, those one-on-one check-ins are so important. They show the organization values the employee as a whole person, not just, a bundle of skills producing output.
Builds trust.
Builds genuine trust. And it opens the door for employees to share what's going well, but maybe more importantly, what potential problems might be bubbling under the surface.
What's really fascinating here is this specific concept the source mentions, the stay interview. It sounds like an exit interview, but before they decide to leave.
That's exactly it. The stay interview is proactive. It's a structured retention tool. Often HR or maybe specially trained managers conduct them. And the goal is to understand what the employee likes about their job, their team, the company, and what they wish could change. What are their career goals? What are the pain points?
So it's not just a casual chat.
No, it's systematic data gathering on job satisfaction. By uncovering problems before an employee even starts polishing their resume, the organization can actually intervene, address issues, maybe adjust roles, and significantly boost retention. It's the total opposite of just reacting when someone hands in their notice.
Okay, so we've covered vision, connection, information flow, culture. What does this all mean for the actual tech we use every day?
Yeah. How do we make all this happen?
All these strategies, centralization, recognition, accessibility, they seem to need a home base. And that brings us to the final one, Strategy 10. Use an intranet for internal communication.
Right. But not the dusty old internet that's just a repository for ancient PDFs.
No. Needs to be more dynamic.
Absolutely. It has to be the central collaboration hub, kind of the technological reflection of the company culture we've been talking about. It needs to enable all 10 strategies, supporting communication that's both real-time when needed, but also asynchronous.
Okay, let's connect the dots then. If you're listening and thinking about your own intranet or platform, what specific features should you be looking for to make sure it supports these strategic goals?
Good question. I think you can break it down into maybe 3 buckets. First, communication. You need solid company announcements features, ideally with read receipts or tracking so you know people acknowledged critical updates.
Important for compliance sometimes.
Definitely. You also need customizable group channels, things that can replace those messy, endless email chains, and importantly, reliable crisis communication tools, ways to reach everyone instantly no matter where they are if something urgent happens.
Makes sense. What about the second bucket, engagement? This links back to recognition and check-ins, right?
Exactly. This is where you see the payoff from strategies 6 and 7. You need tools that actively support interaction, robust polls and surveys, get that real-time feedback, gather powerful insights across the organization. A dedicated recognition and rewards platform make it easy for people to publicly congratulate each other.
Visible appreciation.
And don't overlook digital signage integration. The ability to push key updates, successes, recognition onto screens in common areas or break rooms. That extends communication beyond just the laptop or phone.
Good point. Okay, third bucket, operations. This ties back to centralization and knowledge sharing, strategies 3 and 8.
Right. This is where the intranet truly becomes that single source of truth we talked about.
So what features are essential here?
You need a powerful content management system, obviously, to house all those centralized documents. Plus, a constantly updated employee database, directory, and org chart so people know who's who and how teams connect.
Makes finding people easier.
Crucially, though, the system must integrate smoothly with the tools people are already using day to day. Think Slack, Zoom, Microsoft Teams.
Okay.
But also integration with core business systems, especially payroll providers, ADP, UKG, Workday, those kinds of platforms.
Why are the payroll integrations so critical for, well, communication? Seems a bit removed.
Because good communication relies on accurate data about your people.
Oh, okay.
Integrations let the system automatically pull in the correct org structure, employee details, maybe track birthdays or work anniversaries for automated recognition prompts,
Gotcha.
and ensure people are automatically put into the right communication channels based on their actual role, department, location. It gets rid of tons of manual data entry and makes sure your communication is always targeted and relevant, keeps everything up to date. Hashtag tag tag outro.
Wow, that was a fantastic unpacking of the blueprint for strategic internal comms success. I think the core lesson here really is that good internal communication should feel easy, it should be straightforward, and most importantly, useful.
Yeah. And when it breaks down, the impact is real. Confusion, mistakes, missed opportunities.
But when you build it well, like with these strategies, you create a company where people feel engaged, they're more productive, and honestly, probably more satisfied in their jobs.
And, knowledge is only valuable when it's understood and actually applied. Think about that statistic we touched on from the source material.
The recognition one.
Yeah. Specific recognition drives 12 times higher engagement. 12. That's not a small difference. That's a massive return on investment from what some people might dismiss as a soft strategy.
That's
It
incredible.
really is. And it raises, I think, an important question for you listening right now. If things like recognition or those proactive stay interviews are potentially driving that kind of 12x return, how are you actually quantifying that? How are you measuring the success of those strategies in your own workplace?
Beyond just looking at overall retention numbers.
Exactly. What specific data points would you need to gather and track to definitively prove that ROI? To connect the dots between, say, your recognition program and hard metrics like productivity, innovation, or retention.
That data challenge,
No.
that's definitely the next frontier, something to really mull over. How can your internal platforms become that central measurable hub to make these 10 essential strategies a reality?
Food for thought.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us for the deep dive.